Hello. Hello. Huh? Okay. So, if I ask everyone po, if naririnig niyo ba boses ko? Mhm. Hello? Hello? Ayan, we are about to start our online session. Yan, malakas ba? Okay. So, good afternoon everyone. We're about to start our online class. So, I hope that everyone is uh, having their mobile phones. Bukas naman po ang kanilang mobile phones. Okay. So, before we're about to start, I would like to ask a few reminders for our online class. That make sure that you are already access with our group to our ANHS Grade 7 online learning. And we're about live. We're about live today. So I hope that uh, everyone is here. So can I check your attendance? If you are already here, kindly post your names. Kindly post your names here on our wall. Yan. So medyo namimiss niyo naman ang boses kong maganda. Okay, just kidding. Anyway, so this one is uh, we have only a limited time to have a online session. So before we begin, let us have first a primer for our lesson. So as you can see, our topic is all about how to use verbs. And we have only two kinds of verbs. So we have main verbs and helping verbs. So I think napakalakas din ng ng sounds. Sounds din sa labas. So I hope na you're still okay while you're staying at home. And I think this is also included in your exam, supposedly. But unfortunately, we have a urgent emergency for our security and also for our health. So I hope that everyone is okay. We have to stay at home while doing our online class. So what are those kinds of verbs that we're going to discuss? So we have here main verbs and helping verbs. So we have a learning competencies, and those learning competencies are also included in our fourth module, which is based on English Learner's Manual. So if you have a learner's material rather, you have to check it on pages 449 to 450. And these are the following. So if I read, to use verbs when giving information and making explanations, and to use correct and appropriate multimedia resources. Let's say, for example, we have to use Facebook since we are also having an alternative learning options. And we have to use correct and appropriate multimedia resources when orally giving information, instructions, making explanations, and narrating events in personal or factual recounts. So I hope that you have to jot down with your notes. It's because I have to give some link for our online quiz. So I hope that we have only 21 or 22 students who are already online. But in case you don't have a internet access, don't you worry, we will be having a replay button here to replay those lesson. And by the way, special mention to Ma'am Gina who's also joined with us. And I hope that you are enjoying our lesson while staying at home. So here are the following objectives of this lesson. So use main verbs and helping verbs to form an imperative sentence. So when we look back to our uh, past discussion, which is an imperative sentence. So imperative sentence is a type of sentence that actually gives a command or request. As you have watched the recent report on the enhanced community, what do you call this? Mm, Quarantine, yeah. Enhanced community quarantine. We are being ordered to stay at home for about 1 month, and he had to comply with our initiatives with our government. So use main verbs and helping verbs to form an imperative sentence and to identify the functions of the following auxiliary verbs and to create an imperative sentence using verbs. And later on, I will post the link of our online quiz on this group. So I hope that everyone is are already access with their mobile phones and even their laptops. So please bear with me with the poor internet connection. So malay natin, mapuputol din tong live natin. So let's now proceed with our lesson. So again, what is a verb? So verb is a word that express an action or state of being. Medyo to sum up with our lesson, verb is simply an action word. When we talk about an action word, it has been performed by an individual or uh, created a sentence using actions or different kinds of movements. So as you can see, we have also using verbs as an imperatives. So a verb takes an action into a subject. We may say you are the subject of the sentence and you have to take a command or request to someone or asking a favor. So for example, you have to read a book, you have to stay at home and watch online. So those are the types of verbs. And we have also discussed the two kinds of verbs. So which is the main verb and the helping verb. So what are main verbs? Hmm? So verbs are, or the main verbs is simply in clause. And so the main clause of this, the action word of the main clause that the subject completes. So if we sum up, the main verb or the lexical verbs are the action words. Simply the action words or the dependent clause or a main clause of the sentence. So I think online din ng Seven Sunflower. Kasama po kayo sa ating online class. So, which is intended to all sections. It is because it is also included in your exam, but unfortunately, we have to stay at home. So what are those main verbs? So these are the examples. So the first one is have I wash my hands. Simply, we have underlined main verbs. The next one is the man quenched the fire. People enjoy music. He pressed the wrong button. So main verbs is also a present or past form of the verb. As you can see, we have a present form or simply the base form of the verb. So it's whether it is a singular or plural form of the verb, we have to use it as main verbs or the action itself. So for the subject, for the first example, I wash my hands. So I is the one who performs and wash is the main verb. The next one we have the man quenched the fire or turned off the fire. So the man is the one who uh, performs or the man who is the one who performs the action while the quench is the main verb or action word. Then we have people enjoy music. As you can see, people is the subject and enjoy is the main verb or the action word. And he pressed the wrong button. So as you can see, uh, it may depend on the structure of the sentence if it has been done or it had been done. The main verbs are also used to the present or past form of the verb. So you have already discussed it with Mount Donnabelle, the types of verbs or the regular and irregular verbs. So those are the main verbs. The next one, what are helping verbs? It says here a helping verb always help either an action word or a linking verb. So when we see a helping verb, it is also uh, connects or connected between the subject and the predicate in a sentence. So a helping verb is also known as auxiliary verbs and they can also add detail on how time is conveyed in a sentence, whether it is a present form or a past form of the verb. So what are those auxiliary verbs? So I have prepared a list of helping verbs. We have am, are, be able to, been, being, can, could, dare, did, do, does, going to, had better, has, have to, is, may, might, must, need, ought to, shall, should, was, were, will, and would. So these are the helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. So you can use it whether it is in a present form. Say for example, you have is, are, was, were, or is, are rather. Is, are, has, have to, or we have also used do and does into a present form. While the others, we have been, could, did, had, and might, or ought, or should, or would. These are the past form of the verb. So I think you are already familiar with the helping verbs. Now, how can we use the following uh, helping verbs or auxiliary verbs? So these are the examples. So using am, I am sorry for what I have done. So we have to take a look at the functions of auxiliary verbs. So we have am. I am sorry. So you have to use it if the subject is I or the first person point of view. So next one we have is he is a great oral player. So ayan. So we have is as the auxiliary verb, and it connects he and an object or an object of the verb, which is a great all-round player. So it's either ito ay siya ay isang auxiliary verb, you have to take some of its functions. So is can be also used kapag siya ay singular form. While and another auxiliary verb, which is are, you are never too old to learn. So you have to use are whether the subject is two or more, or even in the second person point of view, which is you. And another we have was. He was elected by an unanimous vote or by an unanimous vote. Okay. So we have was as our auxiliary verb, and the subject is he. So since it was already happened, we have to use the past form of the auxiliary verb. He was elected. So bakit magkakasama yung auxiliary verb at saka yung past form of the verb? So not all the auxiliary verbs can be main verbs. So I will explain further later. Then we have where. The children were playing with the ball. So the children is the subject. Then we are used play or where. We're playing with the ball. So this one is an example of a uh, past participle. So we have where followed by playing. So yan. So it is clearly explained that if the subject or if the event had already happened, we can use where. We have also used been. Music will be played on a phonograph. Will be played. Ayan. So, how does it agrees with the subject? So, music will be played. Bakit yan po yung nakalagay? So, will be played, yung sabihin, mangyayari pa lamang siya. So, it's either siya ay, may instance din na you have to use the past form or even the gerund. It is considered as the past form. So, music will be played on a phonograph. Next, how can we use the auxiliary verb been? The actress has been divorced from her husband. So, it has also already happened, and it has also followed by the past form of the verb. This actress has been. Bakit has been? Kasi it implies with the singular form, this actress. So it's either pwede rin siyang had been divorced in case with the changes of the subject. So it also changed the meaning of the sentence. So I think Ma'am Connie Madrid is also tuning in. Hello po, Madam. So let's proceed with another slide. Next, we have will, has, have, had, to, does, and did. So let me read an example. He will not play volleyball. So as you can see, it's also used when it terms to a positive or negative response of the subject. So, he will not play volleyball. So, yan. Kung nakikita nyo, it is written in the present form. Next, we have has. He has bought some tropical fruits. Yan. So, we have to need to buy some bunches of fruits since we are in a quarantine situation. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. And he has bought, it also already done with the past form. So actually has also used if the subject is in a singular form. Next, we have. Our guests have arrived. So the subject is our guest, and we are using the past form arrive. So, we will explain further bakit ganito yung structure ng sentence at bakit hindi po pwede maging main verb ang isang linking verb. Say we have do, does, and did. So, do is also an action word. Bakit siya napasama sa auxiliary verb? So, here's how we can explain. So, I do not feel like going out tonight. Does your job fulfill your expectations? Did you have a nice holiday? Of course, every one of us doesn't have a nice holiday prior to that situation that we have in a home quarantine right now. So let's now proceed with the explanation. So why do we need to understand why helping verbs are not also become a main verbs? So here's the explanation. Number one, main verbs complete action alone. So, ibig sabihin, it is also an independent clause. That is, they do not have required an additional verb to communicate an action. So, bakit ganito yung explanation? So, if we construct a sentence using action words, it is already, it is, it can stand alone and it doesn't need an additional verbs just like the linking verbs. While helping verbs cannot stand alone and they need to be paired with the main verbs in order to communicate an action. So when we say a helping verb, it also changes the tenses and the meaning of each verbs. So, yan po yung explanation. Bakit hindi po pwede ang helping verbs sa main verbs? Kasi mag-iiba din siya ng function of the sentence. So, note that many verbs on the linking verb list can also function as action verbs. So, here's the illustration coming from the Grammar Revolution. So, the blue ones is an action word and the red ones is the linking verbs. So it can also interconnect with one another when the main verbs or the helping verbs are also considered as an action verbs. So let's say for example, she felt the earthquake. Felt is an action word or an action verb. While the other one, she felt surprised. So nag-iiba siya ng function. It depends on the uh, structure of the sentence. So, she felt the earthquake. So, ibig sabihin, meron na siyang subject, meron na siyang verb, and we have the object which is the earthquake. So, that is why felt is an action verb. And how about the other sentence? She felt surprised or she felt surprised. So, bakit ganyan yung function? So, yung word na surprise is also an action word or can be a adjective or kung nasupresa man siya on just what happened on that earthquake or the eruption. She felt surprised. So, nag-iiba siya ng function. Pwede siya maging linking verb, pwede rin siya maging action verb. However, linking verbs or even we say the auxiliary verbs cannot apply with its functions. So, we have another example. So, I will play the piano. Will is the helping verb, while play is the main verb. So, as you can see, nag-iiba din siya ng functions. So, we have already the helping verb and we have the main verb. So, it depends po kung paano siya gamitin in a sentence. So, we have also, I will be a teacher. Will is the helping verb and be is the linking verb. So, bakit naging linking verb siya although siya ay isang auxiliary verb? It depends on the subject or the structure of the sentence. So, let us have, I have a cat. So, bakit iisa lang? So, have can be simplified as the main verb and a linking verb if there is if there is an inadequate usage of the verb. So it is also considered as an action word or a main verb kapag it describes a person or a object. Then we have I am a teacher, which is am is the main verb and the linking verb. So yun po ang usage or the difference between the helping verb and the main verbs. So to sum up with our lesson, ayan, so it is about a 30-minute lesson lang naman. So main verbs or lexical verbs are the action words in a sentence. And helping verbs cannot stand alone and they need to pair with the main verbs in order to communicate action. But in addition now, some verbs can be function as the main verbs or helping verbs, but they will do only one job at a time in a sentence. So when we look back at our sentence, so let's say I will play the piano, it has something to do with the helping verbs or connecting two uh, subjects, which is I and the piano, describing the person who uh, played the part of playing the piano. So, ganun lang yung example nun. And you have also, I have a cat, which is, pwede siya maging linking verb, or should I say, paano kapag dinagdag din natin ang example? I have bought a huge cat. So, example lang naman yun. I have bought a huge cat. So, mag-iiba na siya ng function. So, magiging linking verb na yung have. Kasi dinagdagan natin siya ng bought. So, bought is also function as the main verb. So, it depends upon the assignment dun sa sentence. So, you have also describing a subject, which is, I am a teacher. So, yun po yung function niya. Iisa lang yung ah iisa lang ang verb but in different functions. It can be also played as a main verb and also played as a linking verb. So, did you get the point on our lesson? Ayan. So, feel free to comment your questions or even your suggestions. At may nakikita pa akong angry. Sino ba nag-angry dyan? Anyways, so, yan. So, sum up with our lesson. Yan. So, think of the examples of a present or a past form of the verb using main verbs or lexical verbs. Then we have already list down the helping verbs and you have to use it in different functions. So, when we go back with our auxiliary verbs, actually, I will post this after this FB Live. So, this one will also use in our next activity. So, you have to take down those auxiliary verbs. So, we have am, is, are, was, were, be, been, will, or meron pa yata itong would. Pero hindi na siya na-include dito sa picture. Will, has, have, had, do, does, and did. Ayan. So, I think 7 prime is always active. Then, let's read some comments. Hindi ko nga lang siya ma-scroll down. Ayan. Okay daw. Ayan. Okay. So, you have to take your time po if you want to copy. But don't worry po. For those who cannot able to tune in live, I will replay this live video on this group. And you have to review some parts of the lessons. So this one is also included in one of the learning competencies that I cannot able to discuss since we are running running out of time and medyo gaul na din tayo sa dinami-dami ng suspension of classes. But anyways, Let's now proceed with our activity for today. Ayan. So, activity number 4. So, we are now done with activity 1, which is the adorable home. So, I already record the activities that I have already posted since Thursday, and I am glad that most of you have responded with our activities. So, almost 80 or 80% na mga estudyante ng grade 7 ang nakakomply dun sa activity 1. Same as activity 2. And I would like to also remind you that activity number 3 submission is until today. So please uh, accomplish and comply with those activities because later on or tomorrow, I will close the comment section over there. So, kailangan po ay nakapagpasa na kayo or even send your private message kung kayo ay nakatapos na dun sa activity. So, for this activity for today, we are talking about an imperative sentence using the main verbs and auxiliary verbs. So, create an imperative sentence using the given verbs on the next slide and write 5 steps on how to wash your hands. So, please take your time to follow the steps based on the illustration. So, here is the illustration, by the way, on how to wash your hands. Why do we need to wash our hands? Since we are in a enhanced community quarantine, you have to wash your hands because, yes. Ayan. So, thank you for joining also with our live, Ma'am Connie. And, sige, we will go back with the auxiliary verb. So, papost ko din mamaya, Kim. Huwag kang mag-alala. Then, copy and answer. You should follow the format which I have already posted. But first, you have to capture this photo if you have a time to screenshot this photo or I will post it later on. So, here are the steps. Number 1, lather. Number 2, scrub. Number 3, spread. 4, wash. And 5, rinse. So, you have to form a sentence or an imperative sentence using the main verbs. So, this one is also already the main verbs. So, lather, scrub, spread, wash, and rinse. So, napaka-simple lang. Then, another. Sige. Have you already done with copying with the picture or the illustration? So, pwede pa kayo mag-post ng questions habang may time pa tayo. Hindi ko nga lang maklik yung new comments. Answer na lang. Yung isa. Kailan po ipapa-discuss yung review? Oh, just wait for the announcement po kung kailan ko po ipa-flash yung review. But make sure po na I have to secure the copy of the pointers to review that I have already posted. Same as the activities. Ayan. Meron naman pong sumunod. Opo. Ayan. So, for this activity, let me read the format since have already accomplished 3 activities. So, it is also recorded. So, dun po sa mga hindi pa po nakapag-submit, please submit it via PM po. Okay. So, for this activity, you have to follow the format same as the previous activities. So, the title, how to wash your hands, then your complete name, grade and section, and your answers. Remember po na ito lang po yung basic steps. How to lather, how to scrub, how to spread, wash, and rinse. Yun lang po yung mga verbs na gagamitin or yung main verbs. So, for example, you have to lather your hands with soap and water. Ganun lang po yung simple na structure ng sentence. So, since you have to follow the basic steps or safeguard after toilet, before eating, after playing, and even may hinahawakan kayo na unwanted object. Kaya so madumi pa yan or galing pa yan sa loob ng bahay. So, ma'am, another example. Scrub. Sige. Okay, I will search muna kung ano yung mga possible na sentence. So, for example, you have to soak with water and lather your palm and have to scrub your hands or your fingers and spread out the residue of soap into your fingers. Parang ganun lang yung example. Pero meron din ako i-upload ng sentence or a video. Kaso nga lang hindi ko lang siya maipasok kasi nga hindi pa ako gaano marunong mag-perform ng PowerPoint since kanina ko lang din siya na-discover and all you need to do is to use it in a sentence yung mga key verbs. Mga key verbs lang. So, I will post an example para mas madali. So, dali yung magdidihan. But I need only 5 basic steps. Kaya nang nasa illustration. Ayan. So, submission of these activities until tomorrow afternoon. Or kung pwede pa mag-extend, I will still open the comment section. But on that particular day, kapag nag-exceed na kayo sa time, send me your PMs together with your answers para madali ko siyang ma-check. Kasi pagka pinost ko pa dito at hindi ko lang siya ma-check ng isa-isa, magagawin tayo sa panahon. Ayan. So, ulitin ko po ha, 5 sentences or 5 basic steps on how to wash your hands lang. So, it is also open to all sections like prime, sampagita, gumamela, rose, and sunflower. Kasama po ang sunflower dito. Since si Ma'am Gina din ay grade 7. Okay? But, we have also another surprise or another twist. Answer the online quiz on this link regarding on what you have watched on this video. But the deadline of submission for online quiz is until Thursday morning. So, yan. So, I will check kung sino po yung mga naka-online or kung mga free data naman kayo, feel free to secure the screenshot of the quiz. So, hindi ko nga lang siya maipapakita sa inyo, but I will post the link or post a picture just like this one. So, ganun lang po kasimple. I will post the link after this video with the subject online quiz. Ayan. So, again po, thank you for watching this video. But before we about to end with this session, let me also share some references. Yan. To know more about the linking verbs or the main verbs. Especially, you have to check it on your learner's manual. So, we have also the words to ponder before I end this video session. Let me read to you. It is also coming from one of our pastors in Victory. It says, the one right thing you can choose can lead to many things, and the one thing that you can choose can lead to many bad things. And so it is depend on your choices between good and bad things, but you have to never stop doing good things because in return you will also rewarded a best gift. So therefore, choose the best and wisest decision in your life. So thank you so much, and we'll see you again with our next live session. Again, this is Ma'am Je signing off for now. And please comply with our lessons or the activities rather in our group. So thank you and God bless.